All right, everyone. Well, we've got some really interesting stuff to talk about today. We actually have word on two legendary champions that are coming to the game through various methods. Now, one of them is a brand new legendary champion coming through a Summoning Fragments event, and then the other one is going to be added to the bazaar, which you'll be able to buy for gold bars, and that is not a new champion. Let's talk about the new legendary first, though, and this was posted by the Diamond here as a bit of a teaser. Guys, some news for you. This Friday, we're going to launch a Champion Fragments event for a new champion from the Orcs faction. Really interesting here that they are going with this Champion Fragments direction instead of what would normally be announced here as a fusion. And if you guys don't know, the Champion Fragments was a new summoning system that they introduced a few weeks ago. So far, we have Horden as a champion that we could have gotten the Fragments to summon through one of those daily login type champion training events where all you had to do was just train a couple level 1 to level 2 champions basically to get the points to do it. And if you guys haven't summoned yours yet, I haven't summoned mine. I'm actually waiting for a champion chase tournament to get the extra points from doing so. But since introducing this system, it seems like they're actually moving in a different direction here rather than just a regular fusion and announcing a series of events that we'll be able to complete that'll actually give fragments to get this new champion. So the Diamond gives us additional information beyond this post right here. Rarity, legendary, type support, affinity, magic, and they also posted a teaser on their Facebook as well. They posted it on their Twitter. I'll show you guys here. It's just a quick 10-second little teaser, and it's the same on their Twitter as on their Facebook. But interestingly enough, we actually know the name of this new champion, and we know that this champion was actually leaked many months ago. So we have more information available, given it is unofficial information, but it's still out there about this champion's skill kit and what they're going to do because they were leaked. So I'll show you guys that as well. So let's take a look at this little teaser here that they posted on their Facebook and on their Twitter. It's not very long, but let's take a look at it either way. So here it is, and they posted this. Once she was a captive and a slave, yet she rose from the deepest pits of misery to avenge her kin and forge a path of her own. Do you have what it takes to earn her loyalty? Just remember, one should never mess with a witch, and her name is Krila Witch-Arm. So, all right, let's take a look at this right here. So, of course, not really a whole lot of information given to us through this little teaser here, but we do know her name, and we know that she was leaked. In fact, several months ago, I actually put this video up on the channel right here, 9 champions leaked, Dwarf Apothecary, etc., and she was one of the 9 champions that was leaked in this video. In fact, she was the very first one. So we've known about her skill kit since May 18th, and here she is right at the start of this video. I'll just kind of skip through it here so you guys can actually take a look at her skill kit, but you can see she's of the Orcs. She is a support-based champion. She has 3 skills in her skill kit. We also have the damage multipliers for her as well. So let's skip ahead to her first skill right here. Witch Light Barrier attacks when enemy places a shield buff equal to 10% of this champion's max HP on the ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns, damage based on attack. Now, granted as well, I will say as a bit of a disclaimer that these screenshots and these skills were leaked a long time ago now, so there is a possibility that since this point they have changed some of her skills and abilities. Obviously, there's a chance that they haven't and that it comes out exactly as we see right here, but also has a multiplier of 4.6, and you can see that skill books are going to increase the damage and add a bit of shield to that ability as well. So skipping ahead to the next ability, let's see, right here, Blinding Glow. Attacks one enemy, places a stun debuff for 1 turn, has an 80% chance of teaming up with 3 random allies to attack a random enemy. Allies joining the attack will use their default skills. So we have the legendary Catacomb Counselor type ability right there. Very, very cool. I absolutely love this ability. And it also places a stun as well, which I don't believe the Catacomb Counselor ability does that with the team attack. So you have that team attack theme though, which is awesome. And then her third ability, let's see, right... let me see if I can get to it here. That's the Catacomb Counselor, of course, with his Army of Death. Teams up with 3 random allies to attack a single target. The allies joining the attack will use their default skills. So yeah, no stun on that right there. So her version is indeed a bit better than the Catacomb Counselor version. And then you have her third ability, War Wielding. places a 50% increased attack buff and a 30% increased crit rate buff on all allies for 3 turns, then attacks all enemies. So very interesting there that you have a buff, but you also have an attack alongside the buff as well, and it's an AoE. So very, very cool skill kit. I absolutely am going to be going for this champion, and the Diamond provided some additional information about her as well for those of you guys wondering how to actually get the fragments, because this is something that they seem like they're doing a little bit differently. This is normally when they would end up introducing like a fusion type event, but since they introduced this new summoning system, it seems like they're going to be going with that for the time being instead. So some additional information here. It will be like our fusions. You'll be able to earn fragments in a series of events and tournaments. The difference is that in fusions, you're fighting for needed champions as the reward, whereas here the goal will be fragments. So like the fusion events, the way that this is going to work is when it is released, which is this coming Friday, by the way, so just a couple of days, there's going to be a bunch of events and tournaments that are going to be released, very similar to fusions where they release like a calendar and there's just a ton of events, there's a ton of tournaments, usually a giant champion training, so on and so forth. It's going to be the same thing, except instead of getting champions as the rewards, you are just quite simply going to end up getting the fragments in order to summon this new legendary champion. Now, another big thing that I'm sure everybody is wondering, including myself, is there going to be like 5 fragments where you won't be able to get the last 5 and you have to spend money in order to get them, or something like that? Will we be able to get all the fragments from the actual events? And the Diamond here clarified, not only will we actually be able to get all of the fragments from just the in-game events and tournaments, but we might even be able to get more than 100. So if you do end up missing an event or a tournament, you might still be able to get the full 100 fragments in order to summon her. So that is very cool. As far as I know, you'll be able to earn more than 100 fragments per event. Thus, even if you miss one of the events, you'll be able to earn the needed number of fragments in the rest of the events. As for your question of the 90 fragments by the event, no info yet. So I wouldn't 100% count on the exact number of how many fragments we are going to get until we actually know this Friday when the events are released, but that is some pretty awesome news right there. So definitely looking forward to this. I'm also looking forward to seeing if this is going to permanently replace fusions, or if they're still going to go back to fusions the way that they had them before, where you have to get champions to fuse in order to get the new legendaries that they actually put out there. So that's the new legendary that is going to be available through this new series of events. Now let's talk about the second legendary, who is actually going to be available in the bazaar in the tag team arena. And this is something that's going to be coming, I believe, in the next patch. The Diamond, of course, has more information about this right here. Guys, some news for you. In patch 2.12, we'll add a new slot at the bazaar. It will contain champion fragments for a legendary champion from the Demon Spawn faction, Drexthar Bloodtwin. That slot will be available starting from bronze tier, so players from all 3 tiers, bronze, silver, and gold, will eventually be able to accumulate enough champion fragments and summon Drexthar. It will be possible to only get 1 Drexthar at the bazaar. I'm attaching the pics of the interface. The price shown on the screenshot is real. The cooldown will be 1 day. You could share this information with your subscribers. So some additional screenshots right here, just so you guys can see that there he is. That is a champion fragment, by the way. So that price of 360 is not for the full champion. That is for 1/100th of the champion, because you need 100 fragments in order to summon. Very similar to, in fact, exactly the same as the new event that we are getting. It'll be a fragment summon, 100 of them to complete. So it'll have a cooldown period of 1 day as well, 360 per fragment. That means you're going to need a total of 36,000 gold bars, and it's going to take a minimum of 100 days in order for anybody to get the required fragments in order to summon Drexthar. So and then let's see right here, that's just him right there with the fragment. You can buy up to 100 fragments of 1 champion in the bazaar. Once you do buy 100 of them, of course, he is going to disappear, so you won't be able to continuously buy more dupes of him. And if you guys are wondering, just taking a look at his actual skill kit really quickly here, he is in the Demon Spawn. He is an HP burn specialist right here, defense based. So, attacks an enemy 3 times, has a 30% chance of placing an HP burn debuff for 2 turns. Heals this champion by 20% of the damage inflicted if the target is under an HP burn debuff, and it scales off of both defense and attack. His second ability, attacks all enemies, has a 40% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn, and that is defense based right there as well. You can lower this to a 4-turn cooldown, increase the buff debuff chance to 60%, 65% with the mastery as well. And then his passive here has a 55% chance of placing an HP burn debuff when hit. So when he is hit himself, looks like you could boost this up to a 70% with skill books, 75% with the mastery. So he definitely is an HP burn specialist, and he's got his aura increases ally accuracy in all battles by 70. So pretty interesting skill kit right there. I mean, considering you'll be able to eventually end up getting him through the bazaar, I think it's probably going to be worth going for. You know, it's up to you if you want to prioritize things like ancient shards before, but I would definitely say he takes priority over a lot of other stuff in the bazaar that just doesn't seem to be nearly as good value as being able to get a full legendary for 36,000 shards. So, you know, like the ancient shard, you could think about maybe the accessories and whatnot, but, you know, considering that like a legendary skill tome is 25,000 gold bars, a sacred shard is 30,000, and you'll eventually be able to get the full legendary for 36,000, which is just a bit more than a sacred shard. You have 100 days in order to do so as well. I'd say it's probably worth it. So, unless you already have Drexthar, of course, in which case probably isn't worth it. But anyway, that's pretty much all the info that we have for today. Lots of interesting new stuff coming to the game. Let me know what you guys think about this. What are you most excited for? Are you going to be participating in the new events? Are you going to be going for the Drexthar through the bazaar? And with that being said, that's going to be it for today. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did and you want more videos like this in the future, consider subscribing to the channel. Feel free to leave a quick like as well. It means more than you can imagine. So thank you to all of you who really quickly decide to do that. And more raid videos should be popping up on the screen right about now and in the suggested videos to your right or below. More guides, tutorials, and videos just like this all over the channel. Feel free to check them out. Definitely check out that League Champions video as well if you guys want information on the other 8 champions that we still don't have in the game yet. But if not, until next time, have a great day, everyone. Take care, and until next time, this is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.